Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel and welcome to meal prep week 2. So this meal prep is more for the keto / low carb type diet, but it doesn't even matter if you're low carb or keto. Like, you don't have to be to enjoy these dinners or these breakfast, whatever, snacks. It's healthy food, it's great food, so I mean, you don't necessarily have to be low carb or keto to enjoy this video, because you could literally enjoy these types of recipes no matter what diet you're on. So if you're interested in how I meal prep for the week to come, then definitely stick around. I'm just gonna start cutting up all of my produce. So I'm going to cut up my fruits and my vegetables and everything I'm going to need for the week. I'm going to start with the fruit, and I'm just going to cut up all these strawberries. And if I see any bad parts, like this one had a bad part, then I will just cut it off. And I'm just going to throw it right into the bowl of water with vinegar. All right, so we're just gonna let these strawberries soak in here for a little bit. Again, that is just cold water and a little bit of vinegar. So next, I just have a couple things of blueberries, and I just ran these containers under the water so they're nice and clean. So now I'm just gonna start cutting up my zucchini. I have a couple of zucchinis that I'm going to cut up, and these zucchinis I'm actually not going to cook. I am going to throw these in the little baggies that I'm going to make for our veggie and dip, because if you guys haven't had raw zucchini, it's actually very good. Very good, and it's great with ranch. All right, so I'm just gonna throw my zucchini in this bowl of water and vinegar, and I'm gonna let it soak. I already took the strawberries out, rinsed them, and put them in a container. Now I'm going to cut up our cucumbers. Again, these are going to be not only for our snack bags with ranch, but also our salad. All right, we are done with the cucumbers. They are tossed into our water. Now I'm just going to do the celery. Our celery is going to be for our snack pack. All right, again, I'm just going to cut these kind of in thirds and toss them in the bowl there. Just like that. All right, I'm gonna let all that soak, and I'm gonna start cutting and washing everything else. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna cut up are these green beans, because I'm just going to prepare them. I'm gonna make a chicken vegetable soup in the middle of the week, but I'm gonna have everything prepared so that way it's super simple and easy to make. So all I'm gonna do is chop the ends off of the green beans, just like so, and then I will let these guys soak in the cold water with vinegar as well. All right, got the green beans in the bowl soaking, and now I'm gonna cut up the broccoli. All right, so I'm just gonna cut the crowns off there. Now I'm just gonna start cutting them up into smaller bites, kind of like that. And like I said, this is going to be for a soup recipe because I really wanna, I've been craving soup, like chicken vegetable soup. So I figured that would be perfect. Throw some veggies in there. But just cut these up a little bit smaller into bite-sized pizzas. All right, I'm gonna let that soak. And if any of you guys are wondering, I usually let this soak around 10-15 minutes just to get all the any chemicals or dirt or anything like that off of there. Just make sure it soaks really well. I'm gonna rinse off our cucumbers and zucchini and get them all prepared to throw in a container, and then I'm gonna cut up my cabbage, and again, the cabbage is gonna be for the soup as well. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna prepare is the cabbage. The cabbage I'm also going to put in the vegetable soup. I'm not gonna use this whole thing. I'm probably only gonna use like a third of this, and then I'll save the rest of it for maybe a recipe for next week. So I'm just gonna kind of cut a little bit off of here, just like that. And then I'm just gonna set this to the side because I'm just gonna stick that back in the fridge. So I'm just gonna cut this core out here. I just kind of cut it like that. I'll cut that out. And then I usually just take this top layer off and I use the rest of this. So I'm just gonna cut this up into small bites. Now I'm just gonna throw it in the water with a little bit of vinegar again and let that soak. All right, while that's soaking, I'm just going to rinse our broccoli and green beans here. All right, now I'm just going to fill our snack bags with our vegetables that we cleaned. This is just gonna be kind of a repeat from last week because this is something that is healthy and easy to grab. So again, I'm just going to be using these little cups and I'm gonna be filling them with my homemade ranch dressing seasoning. I will link that down below in the description box. It's basically keto, paleo, Whole30. It's good for all those diets and it's really good. So I'm gonna use that and then I'm just gonna fill these bags with a little bit of celery, cucumbers, and zucchini. And then I'll throw a little container in there with ranch dressing and that's it. And I literally just throw this whole container in the bag. So that way it's super easy grab and go snack. You don't even have to think about it. But I'm gonna continue to fill these so that way we have plenty of these for the week. So I have these grape tomatoes here. I'm literally just gonna take it and I'm just gonna dump it in this bowl with vinegar and water and let those set. All right, now I'm just gonna take my organic romaine lettuce out of the package here and I'm gonna cut up all 3 of these and into small little bites for salads for the week. So I'm just gonna cut the ends off and then literally just start slicing them into small little bites. And then I'm just gonna drop them right into the bowl full of water and vinegar. All right, so I have some more romaine lettuce. This romaine lettuce though is going to be for wraps. So literally all I'm going to do is cut off the ends of this and then I'm just going to wash all of these leaves. I'm not gonna cut them up or anything because like I said, they are gonna be for wraps and not for salads until I get to the smaller ones like this, and then I will cut these up to go in the salad part. Well, let me see. And I'll just throw this part in with the rest of the romaine lettuce. All right, so I'm still waiting for the tomatoes and the romaine lettuce to finish soaking, and then I'll rinse those off and I'll put the rest of the romaine lettuce and this asparagus in there. So I'm just gonna get prepared so that way I can have it for during the week. We like to eat asparagus with eggs or whatever, but I'm literally just going to cut the ends of these off. So, just like that. And then I'm gonna wash my asparagus too, and then we will be done with the produce part of our food prep. All right, so this has nothing to do with cooking, but it's still always good to have different things prepared in little baggies so that way you can just grab and go. And plus, that way you don't go overboard on the serving size, where if they're already put in the baggie, the serving size is done for you. So the serving size for these are 2 links. Now, I'm not gonna prepare this entire bag in baggies. I'm just gonna do enough so that way we can grab and go for work or whatever. So let me throw some of these in baggies for our lunches. Again, the serving size for these is 2. So I'm just gonna throw, that's what they look like. I'm just gonna throw 2 links in there, and I'm gonna do maybe, I don't know, maybe 10 baggies full of these, so that way if people wanna just grab them and go to take them to school or to work, it's simple and easy. All right, so I prepared 10 baggies full of these. And then there's still some in here, so that way if people want to snack on these at home as well. All right, so our romaine leaves and our asparagus is soaking in water and vinegar, so that way we can get those all cleaned up and put in the fridge as well. All right, so my next snack, I'm gonna make cheese and pepperoni chips. So I'm just going to be using my cupcake sheet, and I'm just gonna lightly spray it with some cooking spray. All right, now I'm just gonna cut my pepperonis into fourths, just because these are pretty large pepperonis. All right, so what you're gonna wanna do is just take some cheddar cheese and just put a thin layer on the very bottom, and it doesn't have to be a thick layer at all, just a very thin layer. All right, so this is what they're gonna look like as far as the cheese goes. Now we're just going to put the pepperonis on top. We are just going to kind of do that. And we're gonna do that with all of them. All right, y'all, so this is what it looks like. You just bake it until they're as brown as you like it, really, and they're delicious. My brother-in-law tried one. He said they were good. So that is a score right there. That is a great snack, and you don't even have to put it in the fridge. You can just throw it in baggies, and you got it for your lunch. So my last snack that I am going to prepare is basically the same snack that I prepared last week. But except for the only difference is this is mixed nuts instead of just walnuts, and I'm going to do the Lily's chocolate chips in there again. So again, I'm gonna measure this out because it's super easy to overeat on nuts, and these Lily chocolate chips would be really easy to overeat on those. So let me get this all set up. So I zeroed out my scale here, and I'm going to put in 28 grams of nuts and 14 grams of the Lily's chocolate chips. Just gonna put them in there and measure as we go. That is a little over. So it's 29 grams, whatever, that's close enough. And then, so instead of zeroing it out, I think I'm just going to watch for the scale to get to 42. All right, so that is close enough for that. All right, so that is what that looks like, and I'm just gonna continue to fill several bags of these to last us through the week. All right, now I'm just gonna boil probably like 16 eggs in my Instant Pot here, and I already have 1 cup of water at the bottom of it. I'm just gonna throw in my eggs, and I'm gonna do 16 because I'm going to do egg salad, I think, for lunches, and then I'm going to do leave some of them as boiled eggs. All right, I have all my eggs in there. Now I'm just gonna pop on the lid. Once the lid's popped on, I'm just gonna come down here and I'm going to press egg. And see how it says 5? Then that's all I do. I just leave it. And then I'm going to let it do a natural release for 5 minutes. And then I'm going to throw it in an ice bath for 5 minutes. All right, eggs are done. So I'm just gonna lift off the lid here. And I'm just gonna put the eggs in this ice bath. So now I'm just going to put these in this ice bath and I'm gonna let them set for 5 minutes. All right, so another lunch item. This could be a lunch item or a breakfast item. Oscar actually likes to take this for breakfast. It's gonna be an egg salad. Like, I don't do anything fancy with my egg salad because we just like it a little bit more plain. But you could literally like throw cream cheese in here, sour cream, celery to give it a little crunch, kind of literally whatever you want. But I'm just going to take this little gadget here and slice up this egg. And I'm gonna do this to about 10 eggs. All right, so I literally just put my mayonnaise and mustard in to taste. So I just do it the way that Oscar and I and the kids like it. So I think that might be enough mayonnaise. Now I'm just gonna squirt in a little mustard, some salt, and pepper. And like I said, y'all can dress this up better than what I am, but we literally just like it kind of plain like this. We don't really need it all fancied up and dolled up. So I'm just gonna give this a stir, and it's looking like I'm probably gonna need more mayonnaise. That looks, whoopsie. I always make a mess when I cook, y'all. All right, so that's it. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this in a container. All right, so now I'm gonna make some sausage balls, and I've made these before on my channel, and I don't really have a link that I can actually put in the description box. So I will link this video that I did up there in an iCard somewhere, so that way you can just go to that description box and find the exact ingredients. But this is 1 pound of sausage. Then I'm gonna throw in 1 cup of almond flour. So there's 1 cup of almond flour, 1 cup of whatever kind of cheese you want. And then I'm actually gonna put in a little bit of Parmesan cheese as well. Give it a little extra flavor. I'm gonna throw in 1 egg. I'm gonna put in 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I'm gonna do about 1/2 of a teaspoon of pepper. And I'm gonna do about a teaspoon of garlic and onion powder. Then I'm gonna go in with my handy dandy hands here, and I'm just going to mix this all up. All right, then you're just gonna take a little bit of the meat mixture and you're just gonna roll it between your hands into little balls. And we are just going to lay them right on the pan, just like that. You can make them whatever size you want, it doesn't even matter. All right, so the sausage balls are made. I'm just going to put these in a 350-degree oven for around 25 minutes. All right, so the sausage balls are done. I'm gonna let these cool, and I'm just gonna throw them in a bag and throw those in the fridge too. And these are super easy, especially if like you're going to work or whatever. Pop these suckers in the microwave for just a couple, not even a couple of minutes, maybe like a minute. And that is a super simple, easy breakfast. This rotisserie chicken, I'm gonna shred this all up and I'm gonna split half of it. Half of it's gonna go towards chicken and vegetable soup that I'll make in the middle of the week sometime. And the other half, I am gonna make a lunch that is gonna be amazing. It's going to be a ranch, kind of buffalo style chicken that you can use in a wrap or whatever. But for now, I'm just gonna shred it all and I'm gonna put it in this container and then I'll split it in half when I'm done. All right, so I'm gonna take half of this chicken and I'm gonna put it in a baggie and I'm just gonna put that in the fridge because that part is going to get reserved for the vegetable chicken soup that I plan on making during the week. And then I will show you how to make the buffalo ranch chicken that I'm gonna make for wraps during the week. All right, so for the ranch, for the buffalo ranch chicken, literally all I'm gonna use is this ranch here, some of this Frank's red hot sauce, and some pepper, and that's it. All right, so all of this you're just gonna do to taste. So I'm just gonna put in some ranch, and then some hot sauce, no, and then some pepper, and then I'll give it a stir, and then I'll see if I need to add anything else to it. All right, so that's what it looks like. It was perfect with the amount that I put in there, so I'm not gonna do anything else to it, and it's perfect, ready to go onto romaine lettuce and have as wraps. You could throw cheese on there or basically anything you want on there, but it's super good. All right, y'all, so for one of the dinners, I am going to make a pork roast, and it's going to be barbecue pork roast, and I'm also going to make with this, and I will show you this as well, but I'm gonna make some keto-friendly buns so that way we can actually feel like we are eating a barbecue pork sandwich. But let me show you everything that we are going to put into this pork roast right here. So the actual recipe calls for a real onion, but my kids don't really care for that, so I'm just gonna throw in some of these chopped onions. I'm gonna throw in some minced garlic, some black pepper. I'm gonna throw in half of this G. Hughes sugar-free barbecue sauce, and this is a 16-ounce bottle, so I'm gonna throw in half of that. I'm gonna throw in some sea salt and just a few dashes of hot sauce. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of guesstimate on what half of this bottle of barbecue sauce is. So I think that's actually a little over half. Whoopsie, but that's okay, no big deal. Then I'm gonna put some salt in there, some pepper, chopped onions, then I'm gonna throw some minced garlic in here. And then this is optional, but you can throw just a little bit of hot sauce in there, just a few dashes. And then I'm just gonna pop the lid on there and I'm gonna cook this on low for 6 to 7 hours. So the next meal that I'm going to prepare is another crock pot meal because when it comes to meal prepping, I literally utilize all my crock pots, my Instant Pot, everything, because to me, that is what makes my life easy. So this next meal, I am going to make white chicken chili. And I am going to throw 2 pounds of chicken in here. All right, so I'm gonna throw in half a cup of this chicken bone broth. And again, I will link this recipe down below as well. Now I'm just gonna add the 2 cans of green chilies. Add 2 teaspoons of chili powder. One teaspoon of cumin and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Now I'm just gonna pop the lid on this bad boy and we're gonna cook this on low for 7 hours. So we're gonna let this part cook in the crock pot for 7 hours, but there is other steps to this white chicken chili that I will show you once this part is done. Alright, so our chicken here in the crock pot for our white chicken chili is all done. I already shredded it up. Now I'm going to go over to the stove and finish this up. There's some things that we gotta throw in a saucepan and melt and cook before we throw it in. Alright, so over medium heat, I am melting 3 tablespoons of butter, half a cup of heavy whipping cream, 4 ounces of cream cheese, and half a cup of sour cream. So I'm just gonna let this kind of melt together. And then after this is melted together, we are actually going to put this over the chicken in the crock pot, stir it, and let it cook for another hour. I am just gonna pour this over the chicken in the crock pot. I'll probably give it a little stir, and then I'm gonna let it cook in the crock pot for another hour. Alright, so this white chicken chili is done, and let me just tell you guys, this smells absolutely amazing. I'm going to throw it in a dish and let it cool off, so that way we can throw it in the fridge. Alright, so our pork roast is done, our barbecue pork roast, and let me just tell you, it smells delicious. So I'm going to turn this off, let it cool off so I can put it in a container and throw it in the fridge. So the next thing we're going to make, we are going to make our keto buns for our barbecue pork. So it calls for 168 grams of shredded mozzarella. So I'm just gonna do this on my scale here. All right, so that's 168 grams. And then it also calls for, this is basically like a fathead dough type of bun. So it calls for 4 ounces of cream cheese. I'm gonna throw this in the microwave for about a minute. All right, so I'm just gonna stir this up. I may have to microwave it a little bit longer, but we will see here. I think I'm gonna throw it in the microwave for maybe, I don't know, 20 more seconds. All right, so this is good to go. I'm just gonna give this a quick stir. So now I'm gonna put in the rest of the ingredients. So I'm gonna zero out my scale and I'm going to put my scale on ounces. We are gonna put in there 4.5 ounces of almond flour. All right, there's 4.5 ounces of almond flour. We're gonna put in 1 tablespoon of baking powder. It calls for 2 teaspoons of fresh rosemary. I don't have fresh, so I am using dry. I think it'll be just fine. And then 1 teaspoon of dried chives. And last but not least, 1 egg. I'm just gonna stir this up into the cheese. And then we are going to put this in the fridge and let it set for a half an hour. I'm just gonna throw this dough ball in the fridge for about 30 minutes. All right, so this has been in the fridge about 30 minutes. I'm gonna cut this in 1/4 pieces, and then we're just gonna roll it into like a, kind of like a ball, so that way it can basically form a bun. So I'm just gonna cut it in 4ths, just like that. And I basically just lined a pan with parchment paper. And then what you're gonna do is you're just basically gonna take one of the fourths and just kind of form it into a ball. And then we're gonna bake it like that. Pretty much just like that. And I'm gonna finish doing the rest of these, and then I'm gonna throw them in the oven. I already set my oven to 350 degrees, and we are gonna bake these between 10 to 15 minutes. All right, there are our buns for our barbecue. They look delicious. So now we are gonna be able to have like a barbecue sandwich. So that is going to be amazing. I'm gonna let these cool, and then I'm gonna put them in a bag to store them for when we're ready to eat. The next thing I'm gonna prepare is simple keto peanut butter cookies. So the first thing you want to add is the peanut butter. So you're going to put in 1 cup of peanut butter, half a cup of swerve, granulated swerve, about a teaspoon of xanthan gum, a half a teaspoon of vanilla, and we're going to make these chocolate chips. So we're going to add a sprinkle of Lily's chocolate chips. And then I'm just going to give these puppies a stir. And then I'll probably put them in the fridge before I bake them for maybe a half an hour. All right, y'all, so meal prep is done for now. The only thing I'm gonna have to come back and do is make these peanut butter cookies, but everything's prepared, I just have to bake them. But we are getting ready to leave. So meal prep is done. This is definitely enough to get us started throughout the week, and it'll probably last us a good portion of the week, and worst comes to worst, I might have to cook towards the end of the week, just like last week. But let me just do a little rundown. So this is the vegetables for my chicken soup, the chicken and vegetable soup that I'm going to make. Here's the chicken. I threw it in the freezer. It was already starting to freeze, but here's the chicken that I'm going to throw in that soup as well. Here's the asparagus that I'm gonna make with eggs, or even a side dish with one of these other meals. Here's our clean tomatoes, our blueberries, because in the middle of the week, I'm probably gonna make like a blueberry muffin or something, because that sounds good. Here's all of our vegetable and ranch cups for snacks. Here's our romaine lettuce for salads. Here are our buns for our roast beef. Right there, that's the barbecue pork roast that we're gonna be having. Here's the strawberries for the kiddos because they want strawberries, and then there's a little bit there as well because they all wouldn't fit in there. Here's the egg salad for lunches or breakfast. Here's some of our snacks. These are our cheese and pepperoni crackers, and you guys don't have to bake them as long as I did, but I kind of like them when they're a little bit burnt. And if you don't like that, then obviously you cook them the way you like them. Here's our nuts and chocolate chip mixture. Here's our beef sticks. Here is the eggs that was left over. I put 10 eggs in the egg salad, and then these are 4 hard-boiled eggs that I did not deshell because I was running a little behind on time, so everybody's gonna have to do that on their own, but I'm pretty sure they can handle that. And 2 of them already got eaten. And then here's just a little bit of romaine lettuce that is left over that wouldn't fit in there, but that's okay because that's perfect because somebody can just throw some toppings on there and throw that in their lunch for a salad. Here's all of our meatballs for breakfast. Here is our Buffalo Ranch chicken for lunches. There is the cookie dough that I still need to bake tonight, and then that is the white chicken chili. But that is definitely a pretty decent start for the week, and I will link the recipes to all these down below. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to tap that bell so you can get notified whenever I upload a new video. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Don't forget to go out there and make today even better than yesterday. I will see you in my next video. Bye!